God just did an amazing work through this church and through the people, and really turned James's life around. And God gave his life to Christ and got baptized here. And within 10 days, God restored our family, and I was back home, and God started working on me. So it's just been an amazing process, and this church has been the foundation that just really started it, and the people here, just the catalyst of the Spirit, just their love. They showed James, and then they prayed for me when I wasn't even here and nobody even knew who I was. And it really, the power of prayer is amazing because it changed my life. And I'm here now. And they're still praying for me. It's pretty cool.
We've lost Jamie to a car accident. And I get goosebumps telling it because Jimmy and I both have never felt the warmth, the compassion, the outpouring of the love that we got from this whole church. It was amazing to us. We'd never seen anything like this before.
It's not just a church, it's a family.
It was family. And we found out at 8:30 Friday night, and I believe within an hour, we had, I think, 2 or 3 of our elders were at our house.
My mother-in-law happens to be the church secretary, and she applied for the position while we were going through the loss of our child. And what really drew us to this church is nobody from Grace knew us at all from Adam, but she was working here, and she had told Pastor Clark and a couple members that Cody and I were suffering a loss of a miscarriage. And just the rallying that the members did. We knew that they were praying. They sent us encouragement letters, and even Pastor Clark, when he presided over the congregation, he came up to the hospital to pray with us at our very last doctor's appointment. So we were automatically drawn because nobody from Grace actually knew us, but they reached out to us in a way that nobody else could.
Me and my brother and sister didn't have our dads. They weren't ever there. And we always depended on our mom, and one day she went and did her own thing and turned to drugs and alcohol. And God put Clark in her life at the perfect time because she was ready to change for her kids. And I fell in love with Clark instantly, because my mom was talking about something that was so much greater than the life I had known. Like I said earlier, I wasn't really into it, but I loved it because my mom was back. I got to see my mom. That was awesome. God put Clark as a saving grace in my life, and he's been through all of it, because shortly after I decided that I wanted to give my life to Jesus, that's when it gets rough sometimes, and I fell into a lot of the traps Satan placed in front of me and began following the same path my mom had took. But Clark never gave up on me. He was an awesome mentor in my life. The impact I can't explain. It's too big to explain in words. This church is supportive. They love each other. They're there for the good and the bad.
I think the thing that I most cherish about Grace Christian Fellowship is that my children have been reared in this body of believers. And Jonathan Horton has had his fingerprints all over my kids' spiritual life. And watching Jonathan go from a 7th grader with arguably the stupidest looking chili bowl haircut I've ever seen, to become the man of God that he is today, and to really lead and shepherd my children beyond my household is invaluable.
Our lives had changed forever in the length of time it took a doctor to say the word adrenoleukodystrophy, and I understand you have another son. We began a 20-year-long journey, or at least 18 years, and so many of you were right there with us every step of the way. There's no way I can tell you how grateful I am for that. As I give God all the glory for what He did in our lives, but I also give a great deal of credit to the church who walked beside us every step of the way, who loved me and my kids and were continually the hands and feet of Jesus.
I can't even begin to express how thankful I am for my Grace family and the lasting impact that so many of you have had in my life. I am so grateful that we had the love and the leadership of Grace when my family needed it the most.
I've gone through a lot of hurts. I grew up Christian, or I grew up in a Christian home. I accepted Christ when I was real young, and I did the walking away thing. And as I've watched how God changes lives and how the people have loved me around here, because I really didn't feel that God could love me again. And I've really been growing in that He does have a purpose for me, that He's not done with me yet. And it's been through the love and through all the prayers, the people that have showed me that I do matter.
Grace has been a godsend. Vera and I, we've been through some tough times, and it's because of me. I wasn't a very nice man back in the day, and Grace was put in our lives. Yeah, in a time when we needed it. The church, the congregation here is just absolutely incredible.
It's been real cool over the past year and a half that we've been here to see just new faces that come in here and hear stories of people giving their lives to Christ, and we see God working in a big way here at Grace.
Absolutely. Yeah, He's moving and He's going to do big things here, and we're just excited that we get to be a part of it.
The youth, and that's something that Pastor Stephen focuses on too. That's something that's important to him, is to see these little ones grow up, because they're our future.
I feel like Grace is led by a group of men that are seeking God's will for this church and for their lives, and I think the Holy Spirit moves here every day, not just Sundays, with the church leadership.
I'm excited about what God has in store for Grace. Mostly because even though we may not know exactly what that looks like, I know God knows what that looks like, and He's preparing the hearts of the people in this church for what He has in store for us.
The fact that we can raise our family at Grace, the mothers here have embraced me, and I can see raising my kids along with other young families, and I think that's a really cool thing to do, is have our kids grow up together.
For me, I've got to start the Mothers of Preschoolers program. I felt like that's something that was needed for this community in Odessa, in our church. So we've started that. And I don't know what else, but I'm excited to see, and we're here and ready to serve.
Yeah, I think it's exciting just to come into a church that's definitely at a place that's ready for transition, I guess might be the best word. But the fact that we got to come right at Grace's 20-year anniversary. It's a time of celebration, it's a time of reflection, but it's a time to say, okay, God has used us to accomplish, X, Y, and Z, and what is next. And I think that it's awesome that I have the opportunity to come in and be a part of that, what's next.